Russ and I, look, in weeks like this, we're doing 2 shows. We're doing Jimmy's show and ours. It's always kind of tough to find stories because you have to find double the amount. And you don't want to give one show the B stories because that's not fair to the audience, right?
Of course.
So we're like, last night we're like, oh man, let's see, we kind of need a big one for tomorrow. We got some good ones, but we need a big one. And well, CNN responded. Ryan Gerdusky to Mehdi Hasan. Yeah, that's right. I hope your beeper doesn't go off. That's right. He actually said that to Mehdi Hasan's face. So we actually featured Ryan Gerdusky in a recent clip because he shut down one of their hosts about the Trump-Hitler Atlantic magazine smear piece, which once again, to everybody who's like, well, the media is making a mountain out of a molehill, they tried with the Atlantic piece, didn't work. Right. So it's not about everything they do is going to succeed. But anyway, we don't have to make that point.
I mean, most of what they do doesn't. As Keith was pointing out before, that is the secret of Trump's success, that people hate these fucking people so much.
Right.
That most of what they say has no impact unless you pitch it right over their home plate just the right way. That is the only time anyone pays attention to their opinion. You just handed that to them.
Exactly. Well, here's Ryan Gerdusky getting into it with Mehdi Hasan because Mehdi Hasan, so at the beginning of this video clip, he says, if you don't want to be called a Nazi, you shouldn't have events like this, which is a point that we made. Hey, people are already comparing the MSG rally to a Nazi rally, so maybe don't send up troll comedians to make unfunny, mean-spirited, racist jokes. Like, maybe don't give them that win if you don't want to be called Nazis. So that's the point he makes, and it goes sideways real fast and real hard.
Nazis, stop doing.
You're called an
You've
been called an anti-Semite more than anyone else at this table.
Yeah.
And people would sit there and no, by me, I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians. So I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is
Did
that
you just say I should die?
You should not.
No,
Did you just say I should be killed?
No, I did not.
I'm going to play that one more time for those of you hearing this the first time. If you're not on Twitter, you may not have seen this.
What a dumb motherfucker. But yeah, it's this is how they think. There's only so much you can hide that.
Right.
Yep. It just came out. This is who he is.
This is who all these people are. They on Twitter, these kinds of Zionists, and this guy is probably a MAGA guy first, Zionist second, but there is a lot of overlap, far too much overlap, obviously. They talk like this on social media all the time. It was only a matter of time before one of these guys let it loose on a panel. On a panel. All right, so here it is.
The thing is
Did
that
you just say I should die?
Hold on, I'm going to back it up.
This table.
Yeah.
And people would sit there and no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians. So I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is
Did
that
you just say I should die?
You should not.
No,
Did you just say I should be killed?
No, I did not say that. I said, no, I did not say that.
Hold on.
Did your guest just say I should be killed? On live TV.
I said I hope
Guys,
you're.
let me just stop.
You said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you said I'm a big supporter
of the Palestinians.
Of Hamas.
Guys, let me
I said
stop.
Palestinians.
Are you?
Am I what? No, of course I'm not.
Palestinians are not.
I apologize.
Are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against me?
Ryan,
That's disgusting.
that is
He's seeing that paycheck drying up. Trying to back that
the
on there.
Muslim guy should be
that.
blown
I
up
apologize.
on
I
TV.
apologize.
Don't say then I apologize. You literally.
I thought he said
accused
Hamas.
him.
I apologize.
You didn't think I said Hamas?
First of all, you did not think he said Hamas. Second of all, the pager attacks were against Hezbollah, not Hamas.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why your mind was there. That's just a complete panic move, trying to lie. Yeah. Oh, I thought he said Hamas.
He reflexively showed who he was.
Yep.
And then he realized, we're not supposed to show that.
Yeah.
How do I get out of this? What kind of bullshit Hasbara thing can I deploy to create some kind of plausible deniability of what I might have meant by that?
Yeah. Oh shit, I'm not cancel proof. Most people don't know who I am. So without a CNN paycheck, I could have to go back to washing cars again.
I said I support Palestinian rights.
Yes, I did.
Why? Because when you hear
What's funny
Palestinian,
is
you
Rudy
hear
Giuliani
Hamas.
said this
No,
yesterday,
because-
so you're a great guest to
Listen.
be here
All
to
right,
defend
I
Rudy
told
Giuliani's
myself
Give me
I
one-
wasn't going to
give me-
entertain
give me one
nonsense
second.
today, and so at this point,
This is what we're in
I
now.
can't
This
do
is America in
Here's
2024.
what I will say.
Forget the
Here's what
racism.
That's right.
It's I should
That's
die.
right.
I didn't say that. You
You
should
said,
die.
what does beeper mean? Don't give me your
I
fake
did not say
ignorance.
you should
Guys,
die.
Why did you say
guys,
with my
give me-
beeper
give me
go
a-
off?
What did you mean?
That's the other thing. He really picked the wrong guy to say that to. Look,
Yes.
we are not fans of
Yes.
Mehdi Hasan. But first of all, I would defend anyone against a thing like that, whether I liked him or not.
Sure.
That's not the point. What I think of Mehdi Hasan.
Sure.
But Mehdi Hasan is the kind of guy who will run your dick through a buzzsaw if you say that.
Exactly.
Like that guy has
Exactly.
skills. That guy is not
Yes.
going to back down from a fight.
Right.
So that's
Right.
another
way sharper than this fucking.
than this guy. Yeah, exactly. He's not going to let you get away with that.
By the beeper.
So what did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
No,
No, you didn't. You said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least have the guts to support your racist
sorry.
comment.
Hang on.
I'm so sorry.
Let her bring it back.
This is why yesterday's rally was disgusting.
Don't call us
and
Nazis, but I'm going to
outrageous.
threaten the brown guy as a
This is
terrorist
why.
and kill him.
Because I didn't ever say Donald Trump was Hitler. But do you know who stood on a stage yesterday and said, I want to come to the Nazi rally? I don't have to make up words and call you something. You're saying it for yourself. And what you just said
Kamala
right
Harris
here,
is a pimp
apologize,
handler.
but I will tell you, I don't accept that apology, and you didn't even
That's
say it to
fine.
me.
I didn't say it
that
to
was
you.
disgusting. But I can be offended when you don't even say it to me. I'm not.
Okay, now you could shut your moralizing bullshit mouth. Do you see what her title is there? National Coalition's Director, Biden-Harris 2020. So you're offended by his very cruel and horrific and vile joke, as you should be. You're not so offended by the actual pager attack itself, though, are you?
Right.
Because you're supporting a candidate who vows to keep arming Israel, despite the fact that they launched these pager attacks, which killed 12 and injured, 3,000? So you have a casualty to combatant, and that's assuming everybody who was killed was a combatant. We know for a fact a 9-year-old girl had her face ripped off and died because she tried to hand the pager to her father. But even if you assume all 12 fatalities were combatants, which they were not, that's still a 300-to-1 civilian to combatant ratio in terms of injuries and or deaths, which means that's terrorism. That's terrorism. And so the Biden-Harris coalition's director gets to feign all this outrage about a horrible joke while supporting the candidate who is enabling the actual genocide. So I'm not really interested in hearing her run her mouth about this.
Yeah, that's their politics. Their politics is all symbolic. It's all symbolic gestures. It's all virtue signaling. It's all high dudgeon. They're the why I never party.
Right.
Why I never, but has nothing to do with what they're actually going to do. It's all performative.
Exactly. So we're not interested in hearing her on her high horse here. But they went to commercial and they came back and issued an apology to the viewers.
And before we get started, I want to just address what happened in the last segment. And first, I want to apologize to Mehdi Hasan for what was said at this table. It was completely unacceptable. When we get this discussion started, you'll see that Ryan is not at the table. There is a line that was crossed there, and it's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to us at this network. We want discussion.
Is it acceptable to you that Israel blew a 9-year-old girl's face off with one of these pager attacks?
Yes.
I mean, it's acceptable.
Yes.
I mean, the joke is not acceptable, but is the act itself acceptable? Apparently, to CNN, it is.
Well, what's happening there every day is acceptable to them.
Right.
You still have Dana Bash on your network.
Yep.
Dana Bash, who's been unabashedly spreading the deception that to be against Zionism is to be anti-Semitic. Why isn't she off the air?
Yep. Absolutely.
Right. You think she doesn't think this? You think Dana Bash doesn't think exactly the same way?
Of course. Well, that is what is underneath the surface, when it comes to all this. Absolutely.
We want people who disagree with each other to talk to each other. But when you cross the line of a complete lack of civility, that is not going to happen here on this show. It's a heated time. We're in the middle of a political season. We are 8 days from a presidential election. But we can have conversations about what is happening in this country without resorting to the lowest of the lowest kind of discourse. Want to address that, and I want to apologize to the viewers at home because we want to be able to hear each other, we want to be able to talk to each other, and we plan to do that in this next segment.
All right. Brian Stelter tweeted out, this was late last night, so this didn't take very long. CNN PR just released a statement about this. There is zero room for racism or bigotry at CNN or on our air. We aim to foster thoughtful conversations and debate, including between people who profoundly disagree with each other, in order to explore important issues and promote mutual understanding. but we will not allow guests to be demeaned or for the line of civility to be crossed. Ryan Gerdusky will not be welcomed back at our network. So he was promptly dismissed.
He'll get a job at OAN.
Yeah, there you go. And I made the point that Russ just made now. Good to hear there's zero room for racism or bigotry at CNN. If that's the case, I look forward to the firing of Dana Bash, Jake Tapper, and every other Zionist at the network. Gerdusky's outburst was a mask-off moment for what is so obviously a viciously racist ideology. That's the thing. You didn't think eventually one of these monsters was going to just go off on a TV panel? Like, this is what they all think. It is a transparently racist political philosophy. Eventually, someone was going to make a joke like that on the air, because they've all been making jokes like that off the air, even on social media. And so it was only a matter of time this was going to happen.
They're so fucking sick that not only after that happened did they try to make it a point of humor, they then played the victim when they got backlash for doing that.
Right.
This has been a really hard time for us, and we haven't had a lot of laughter, and people should just let us have this moment. This is how fucking deranged they are.
Yeah.
So, of course, there was going to be, as you say, there was going to be a moment where one of these people said something that you can't cover over, that you can't paper over. It's someone saying something like that is not part of the plan. It's not part of the plan. You can justify a genocide by hiding behind the notion that the situation is complicated, but you can't cover that. You can't cover a guest saying, "I wish you were blown up," on the air.
Yep, 100%. Our friend Nick Cruz at RBN says liberals are more upset at a joke about the pager attacks than Israel actually murdering innocent children with exploding pagers. Why are their brains so broken? He continues.
That's the absurdity and the obscenity of it.
Of course. After the pager attacks, liberals made constant jokes about it on this app. Now some guy on CNN essentially repeats the same joke, and they melt down. This is all performative garbage by liberals. John Fetterman and essentially every elected Democrat applauded the pager attacks, that's correct, as an innovation in committing war crimes. So you can support the pager attacks, but you're not allowed to joke about it. Did I get that right, shit libs? Yes, you did.
Yes,
you did.
Nick.
You got that exactly
yes, you
right.
Did.
Yeah. Yeah, because they are not allowed to actually express on-the-nose racism. They have to disguise it as something else. And in this case, even worse than that, they have to twist it around to the point where anybody who calls them out for it is bigoted themselves. To call Zionism racism is anti-Semitic. So actually, it's an I know you are, but what am I thing? You call Zionism racism, they say, no, you're a racist. You're an anti-Semite for saying that.
Right.
And that is what they've been able to get away with for so long, and they still are. But it was only a matter of when. It was not a matter of if someone would just let that out on a TV panel.
Right.
And here you go. It happened.
Exactly.
Yep.
Please clap.